this one, Rhonda, is that okay?
Be my guest. Any others you want to ask?
And I'm being funny here. The first question was, describe a typical day in Tina's life. What time does she get up? What time does she go to bed, take naps, all this? Well, she gets up when she wakes up. She goes to bed when she's tired and sleepy. And she takes naps if she needs them.
When she wants to, right?
That's right.
That's a good PR answer.
Yay, Sonya, that was very good.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. You know, I just read that and I thought, okay. Anyone's typical day. When do they go to bed?
When they want to, when they're tired.
Anything? Anything you would like to add to that, Rhonda? Sorry? Anything you'd like to add to that question?
I think you did a pretty good job.
Okay.
Yay, Sonya.
Yeah, Sonya gets A for apple and E for apple.
Sounds like you've been hanging out with Tina, you know her schedule.
Well, yeah, she didn't tell you that part, did she?
No.
This isn't clicking. Can I put it in my pocket?
Yeah.
So you're all mic'd up.
Am I? Okay. Everybody quiet, no questions? I can sit down now?
No.
Well, that was fast.
Right.
Okay, so how often do you actually spend time with Tina, and what do the two of you do when you're together?
Well, nowadays, because she's retired, I only go over maybe once a year to Switzerland. And we just do whatever, take walks, go to dinner, go out on the lake, walk the grounds, you know, whatever we feel like, go shopping.
Yeah, that's
You just do the girl thing.
Yeah, whatever we feel like doing.
So now it's just you do more what friends would do instead of.
Yeah, well, there's always business. That's always been pretty equal.
Yeah.
The friend side of things.
Right.
So is Tina aware that fans gather every year to celebrate her birthday?
Definitely. She gets a lot, gets a lot of cards, and then a lot of things come from you. Cards that come to the son, you come to get something. She's very aware of it. And thanks to everybody, all the ones that are here as well.
So is she mentioned an Tina too?
No. I didn't have to think about that. Nope, finished, done, been there, done that.
What happened to all the footage filmed during her tours or unreleased recordings? Is there a Tina vault and any plans to release any? The fans are desperate.
That's true.
Sorry, you're desperate. No, all the footage from each concert's filmed. Basically, just to look at, see how the sounds sounds, and everybody's doing the correct routines, costumes, blah, blah, blah. It's not really set up for release commercially. Because on the specials that you guys see on TV, you've got additional cameras, you've got micings, different lightings, different what have you. All of that is stored in vaults. Some of that's just recorded over on the tours, because otherwise you'd have 10 rooms this size full of footage.
Right.
And what's been recorded, probably not. I mean, who knows, maybe later on we'll do something, but at this point, no.
I request What's Love Live, please, DVD.
What?
What's Love Live, 93.
What about?
Yes.
We,
It was
that's
never
the one
released
that's
on a DVD.
He has never been on DVD.
And it probably won't.
Oh, really? Well,
I
good to
mean,
know.
you know, the record companies have changed, all of that side of things has always changed. And whoever had possession basically had the licensing and stuff for that at that time, the record companies, it's a whole bunch of red tape.
Yeah.
So are there any highlights from your time with Tina that you can share?
That I can share.
I added that.
Oh, you added, is that for safety reasons?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my God. There's a lot of them. One of them, I'm pretty much in tune with if somebody's gonna try and pull something on me, like a surprise or something like that. I don't know, I just get suspicious. And it was my birthday and I was in France at her house at the time, was renovating the French house. And a friend of mine was the director of the hotel in Cap. And he said, why don't you come down for lunch? I said, okay, because we have lunch, we go to dinner all the time, it was nothing unusual. And I walked in the lobby and I'm looking around, there's no aunts, his wife's not there, I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden I hear somebody calling my name and I'm looking around, I look up and here's Tina, standing up on the staircase at the top level, and she had flown in from Germany. About a 5 o'clock a.m. flight, which she gets a rest, she sleeps late, to have a surprise luncheon for me. So then we had a luncheon, then that night she rented out the whole restaurant. Then we had a second party at the restaurant. One of the guys was playing guitar. She sang happy birthday. Everybody was singing. It was a great time.
Aw.
That was it. And I didn't suspect anything. It caught me totally off guard. Totally.
That's
the first
awesome.
time.
That's part of the fun little surprises.
Then, of course, when she asked me to be the maid of honor at her wedding and be in the wedding, that was really special. Very special.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When is your birthday?
February 6th. I don't know anything past the 6th. Aquarius, is that what you were saying?
Day before my mom.
Yeah? Well, that's a good one.
So what are some typical tasks that you would do for Tina, working with her?
Depends on what time frame you're talking about. I mean, the early days, I did everything. I ran the lights, I ran the sound, I driven the truck,
Oh, you
I
fancy.
driven the car.
Yes.
The quick changes, book the tours, book all the travel, watch the kids. And then later, when the French house, when she bought that, then they oversaw the construction in France for almost 5 years. And, yeah. And, just, whatever needs to be done, it's that kind of a situation. Something needs to be done, you just do it. Part of the gig, as they say.
Wow.
Will Tina be a part of the next Beyond album?
Probably, I don't know, none of that's, that's kind of been one day at a time kind of thing.
What's your favorite Tina song?
I Can't Stand the Rain.
Nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
And also Amazing Grace. I don't know if you-
Yes.
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 The newer
It's
one.
never been done on tour, but the one that's on the Beyond album.
Yes.
So
Oh
good.
my gosh.
2014.
Yeah.
Makes me cry.
Yeah,
So good.
she did it.
Yeah.
But I have a question about the I Can't Stand the Rain. Do you like the original, like, private dancer version, or do you like the newer,
Yeah.
I like the acoustic version.
I love that one,
Yeah.
so good.
It's just pretty.
Yeah.
Would Tina ever accept a major award if offered, like a Lifetime Grammy Achievement Award or something? Would she ever come to accept an award like that?
Well, she can't really fly long distance because of the altitude. So that would be difficult.
So she's still battling that?
Yeah,
Really?
that's why she didn't come to the opening year ago.
Last year, right.
She was very disappointed. You gotta do what the doctor says.
Now, could
not-
we do
it's
a
not
Tina
fun.
Cruz? Could we do a Tina Cruz then and get her to? All the
But that's not permanent though, like eventually she'll get better.
They hope so, I mean, they
Yeah.
do, but now,
Been going on for over a year now.
Yeah.
Bless her heart.
So any information about Tina Turner, the musical that's supposed to open in 2016?
it's in the process.
So it's for real.
No, well, nothing's been signed yet, it's all in negotiating stages. It's a good possibility at this point. We've leaked out that papers have been, contracts have been signed and all that, which is not true.
Really?
But she approved the script, is that?
It's not that far along.
Not that far along yet.
So it's premature to request that it open in Brownsville?
Get that Sunday. She is. Oh my goodness.
Why is Tina's thumb ring her most prized possession?
First time I've ever heard that.
Okay.
And she's had it for years. And you've seen, well, since then, maybe it's just me because I'm prejudiced. But I've seen a lot of other people start to wear them.
Yeah.
I mean, starting 10 years ago.
Right.
But I don't know, it was something that happened.
There's a rumor that it was her dad's. but
Yeah.
No, okay. Well, thanks for squelching that.
Yeah.
The floating heart necklace that she
I think
has
it's squelching
wore.
forever with all the stuff that's out there.
I'm sure.
But that happens with everything.
I think you've already answered that she's planning to write a book or an authorized book.
How could she write it in
I authorize, I don't know. That's me.
Just wanted to put you on the spot once.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm I'm gonna ask this, but I don't know that you would know the answer to this. How long does Tina spend praying and meditating in a day?
Just depends on the day, you know, I mean, if she doesn't have a busy day, it could be an hour. Just depends on what's happening.
And I think you've already answered, will she be participating in any more Beyond projects, you said, probably.
Would be fun.
You got 15 minutes.
I get the Tennessee game. That's what
All right, were you with Tina the day she met Jackie Kennedy Onassis in New York?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh gosh, you guys are making me pull the cobwebs out of me. I think we were at the St. Regis Hotel. And we were going down the hallway, we was gonna get on the elevator, and she was coming around the corner with her and her sister. And Tina was just blown away, cause that was like someone she always wanted to meet and really respected and looked up to, and she was very cordial. And it was just like it says in the book, Tina ran up all excited, and all of a sudden she realized what she was doing.
Did you try to stop her? You're like, oh, calm down.
No, I was pretty much on the same page.
Really?
But, no, she was very nice and said that her kids, you know, had watched the shows. And then we, once, we were playing Hyannis Port, and Ethel Kennedy came to see the show with the kids and invited us up to the house. Which was great fun. We was out sailing on a boat, and then she was trying to do the routines at the house when Tina was teaching them the routine.
So they have cherished family videos of that. I mean, I hope that they.
No, nobody was video, you know, it's just, I mean, this was like, back in Tina days, long time ago.
Oh, it was? I thought it was like in the 80s. Oh.
Oh, honey.
So this had to be, early 70s.
Onassis was there. Her husband? Aristotle Onassis.
Oh, okay.
This is about you.
Uh-oh.
What interests and hobbies do you have outside of your work with Tina?
Delta Heritage Center?
Awesome.
Paid later.
Right.
Like I'm always working on my house and things like that. I like the outdoors.
Mr. King is also. Wait, tennis?
Oh, my future husband?
Yeah.
My Billy, Mr. Billy. Yes. You gotta work on
Propose
it
to
a
me?
little more. Mr. Billy King.
Oh,
I'm sure you heard, said we were getting married at the opening last year. It's still on.
Still on.
Hadn't happened yet, he just didn't say when.
Well, it's a little difficult long distance, he says. And he doesn't wanna move to LA, and I'm not sure about moving to Tennessee, so we're still in the process. Anything else now? Time's up.
Okay.
What was you gonna say?
Well, I was looking at this one. Does Tina have any idea how bad her fans want new music from her? You kind of
Yeah,
answered
does
that.
everybody know how hard she worked, as long as she worked up to this point?
Amen.
And I understand why.
That's right.
Well
True
deserved
statement.
retirement.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Is that it?
So there's not talks about future recordings.
No.
Okay, a famous Tina song that hasn't appeared on any U.S. Best of collections is One of
I
the
don't know
Living.
why.
Okay.
She says, I don't know why. If it's a question, she goes, I don't know why.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Does Tina not like the song?
I mean, some of those songs don't fit in with the repertoire of the show.
I
We've
see.
gotta build a show to climax, in a proper running order, and some of them choreography wise or what have you just don't fit in with the overall concept of the show.
Makes sense.
Kind of been the issue, pretty much, and they were kind of almost gets forgotten about when you haven't done it for so long, but it didn't fit. It didn't fit.
I have a couple questions.
Yes, you get one.
Okay. Well, okay, when did you start working with Tina?
How old are you?
27.
Yeah.
No, I want to know if you happen to have seen when she was with Tina in
in 64.
Okay, so then, did you happen to see when Janis Joplin and her got together on
I was
stage?
with him.
Wow.
Details, please.
Yeah,
Please.
there's no footage.
There's no
We
footage,
never see
nothing.
Pictures, we don't know what they say,
We don't know anything.
No, I took some pictures. Well, we used to work Basin Street in San Francisco, which is like a small nightclub, very high-end nightclub in San Francisco years ago. And she always came to see the show, and her Porsche's all painted up and all, and I'm sure you guys have seen that.
Oh, yeah, it's for sale now.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. I
Oh,
said
for
it.
real?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
She used to come see the show, and then we were in, New York, Madison Square Garden, and she got
Yeah.
up on stage, but I don't remember what song we did.
Oh, okay.
And I remember she had a fur hat that looked like a lampshade.
Yeah.
But she was great, really just down to earth, very nice, very friendly.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause she loved Tina.
Yeah. Well, she worked a lot and kinda got started at the Fillmore West, the Bill Graam run. Bill also then opened up the Fillmore East, which is like one of the few promoters when I was booking that we could do it over the phone, the handshake, I knew there'd be no problems with the financial end of it. He was just a really honest, very nice man, gave everybody a lot of breaks. And unfortunately, I don't know, you guys probably know Die Hard fans, was in a helicopter accident, way before his time. Flew into some power lines.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was planned, the Janis and Tina thing was planned, or?
No,
Oh, okay.
No, she was just in the audience and Tina saw her, which is a rarity, well, you know that, you were up on stage once.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
rarity.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, she normally, because when you're in that mode of doing a show, you've got a certain repertoire, you know how the choreography goes, the lighting and everything, and then throw something else into the mix, it just kind of throws everything else off, timing wise, psychologically, sometimes it throws you off because you know what's coming next and it's different.
Question for you. I got your, okay. I saw Tina back in '82 at a club called First Avenue in Minneapolis.
Right.
Princess made it famous after Tina did her thing. Tina did the clubs before she hit big with, the album that got popular. But she had a really tight band at that time. And in a perfect world, everything clicks, everything works. But then the unexpected happens, and it's a tough question, so bear with me. Kenny Moore was passed away, and then the bass player happened to leave at about that time, I think.
Yes, Bob Pike.
And
He
you
passed away too.
Oh, he did too?
Oh, he
he
passed
did.
away several years ago.
Okay, but it's tough when you have that happen in the middle of a tour.
Sure.
How do you scramble to get these replaced by new musicians? You gotta
Well, I mean, Tina felt bad because of the fans, everybody paid the money, everybody was, ready to see a concert. So the next show, as hard as it was, they did it, and they had a spotlight on the piano where Kenny would have played.
Okay.
And no one there.
All
So
right.
it was really one of the
I can
hardest things she
imagine, like,
ever did.
yeah, I can imagine going on stage.
Well, Kenny was our first piano player in her solo career.
Oh, yeah.
So Kenny was on tour, and then he was off for a little while, doing his own thing, and then he came back, so he had been around for years. And he was just, him and Tina really clicked musically.
Yeah, we've heard talk about that a lot, about how
Yeah.
there was something, like if her hair was wrong or something, she could turn around and Kenny would
Yeah,
give her
Kenny
a signal
was
and
right
she
in
knew.
tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But it was almost, as sad as it was almost like he knew it was gonna happen. Kenny had a tear in his heart, and his doctor advised him not to go on tour.
Oh.
But that's where he wanted to be. He didn't tell anybody. We didn't know about it till afterwards.
Wow.
And the night before, he had called a lot of people he hadn't talked to before, some of the older singers and what have you in the band, and had his nails done. He was all together, and Kenny and Lejeune, some of you diehards know Lejeune.
Oh, yeah.
Kenny and Lejeune both had, I don't know what you call it, but when they're around shellfish, their windpipes and everything close up and they can't breathe.
Yes.
So whenever, I mean, it doesn't have to be them, it can be somebody in the room 2 or 3 tables away having shellfish and it affects them. Kenny was in the restaurant, they had just flown in and they were all down there eating and someone had ordered shellfish. Kenny says, I'm going up to my room because he knew what was gonna happen. And the maid found him, she went in and knocked on the door, didn't hear anything, thought he was asleep, and it was like the next day.
Oh.
But it was like he knew it was coming, just because he called people that he hadn't talked to in a long time.
Mm.
It was really strange. It was very hard on all of us. I mean, everybody just, Kenny was lifelong. Yes.
Yes, Rhonda. You know, the Herbie Hancock recording that won the Grammy Award with all the jazz, covers for that. A lot of people really talk that Tina's recording really drove that Grammy process of being something that was sustainable, because it was so unique and so different for her to have done that, and she really owned it. Joni Mitchell saying that was like one of her favorite recordings on that album is Tina's. What was Tina's reaction to her recording of Edith and Kingpin?
We lost in all these reactions here.
Yeah, I know, right? Reaction. What was her response to that, though? Because it was such a unique song and a genre for her to record, but everyone thought her recording is really what drove the Grammy winning of that album, because it was so unique and different, and people still talk about it to this day. I just wonder what she thought about Edith and Kingpin as a whole when she was through with it.
I don't know, we never discussed it. I mean, she was just happy that it won.
Oh,
And
that's
Herbie
good.
was a friend of hers.
Yeah. Is it true he flew over to Switzerland to record that, or is that a myth?
Pardon?
Did he actually fly to Switzerland to record that song with Tina, or is that a myth that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
And speaking of jewelry and myths and jewelry and the thumb ring, the floating heart that Tina won for many, many years, that she wore for many years, for decades, did you buy that for her as a gift?
No.
Okay.
That went with her sister.
I noticed you have a kind of a similar necklace on in a way.
She had like a diamond heart. That's
Yeah,
what
she did, yeah. Okay.
Am I off the hook?
You're off the hook, dear.
No, I'm not off the
No.
hook.
If you're gonna stay, we're gonna ask. You had mentioned
I'll leave.
you had mentioned Lejeune,
Yes.
and there's Anne and Karen and Sharon and Cynthia, and then the flowers from the last tour. Is there any contact or anything with them anymore?
Yeah, pretty much. I hear from the twins once in a while.
We were just on this.
And Lejeune I've known for years because she was one of the first I kept way back when Lejeune was a teenager. And Furley, who really felt bad that she was supposed to be in a camp. And then the flowers that you're talking about. Who else?
Cynthia?
Stacy
Cynthia, I haven't heard
Campbell.
You're pink.
for quite a while. And Lisa Fisher stayed.
Lisa Fisher.
Stacy Campbell. Lejeune and Annie too. And then the old band, Billy, I don't know if you remember Billy Haynes, the bass player. We surprised him, Lejeune, and the dancer Jerome. You guys know Jerome Turner?
Oh, Jerome,
Yeah, he was looking so. And David Worth. They were all on tour at one time. We surprised Billy Haynes. He was working at the Del Mar Hotel in Santa Monica. And all of us from that day showed up, and Billy was just totally shocked. But yeah, they're all doing that. Yes, I see your hand.
You mentioned Lejeune. I've always been interested as Tina built the second half of her career and the live show. How did Lejeune get back in the mix from the Argentina days and kind of floated into the solo?
Just wanted a good dancer and called Lejeune. And Lejeune was another one like Kenny. They fell right into whatever Tina was doing. She made it, they were on the same wavelength. In fact, I don't think it was Lejeune. We were working a club in LA once, this was way back, and Tina actually slipped on stage and fell. The girls at that time were so in tune, they thought it was part of the routine. They all did. She did it, we're doing it too. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Obviously, she falls gracefully.
What did she say about that? What did Tina
Well,
say?
we laughed about it.
That's the one role they were doing?
No, I mean, and they just said, well, we thought you changed the routines, because with those girls, they were so tight, like the band has always been very tight.
Right.
They could change the routines on tour and everybody just fall right in line, like, the audience didn't even know anything had been changed, or it was something new or different. So they just thought, that had happened.
When Roger took over Tina's career and you were kind of let go, or
I was working from home at that time, yeah.
so during that time, and then when you came back into working with her, what did you do for actually?
I was still working with her, but just doing things from LA, not on tour. And then I was also working with, Roger was partners with Lee Kramer, who obviously was a really good job. And I was working with Lee for a while.
And then the picture that you submitted for the newspaper, what was that event? And do you remember around what time?
That was Tina and I and Stephen Sills and Erwin were going to dinner one night. It was in Zurich. Well, year was, let's see, probably 4 years ago. Somewhere around there. Donovan, you wanna say a few words?
A few words?
Yeah. Well, what you're gonna do, or did anybody ask you any questions?
No, I'm
No,
good. You can
no,
just,
I can't get back at you.
just come see the show tonight. There.
That's right. Is everybody having a good time?
Yes.
Everybody coming tonight?
Yes.
I'll be there.
Well, you better be.
What was Tina's favorite venue above all? I know Munich was one of her favorite places because in the Royal Streams tour, she did 7 concerts. But she added 2 more after doing 5.
Well, it depends on the bookings on those as far as what's added and where they work. and
She didn't have a
fits into
particular
their
favorite?
itinerary. Oh, really?
No?
What was your favorite tour? Like out of all the
Yeah,
ones you
I
seen,
know.
what was your favorite one that you were, your favorite?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, Lord. The entrance, I like the one where she came down from the staircase that came down from
Oh,
the ceiling.
yeah.
For the fair and What's Love,
Came
yeah.
down in the chainmail, and then the staircase went back up, and all you saw was the lightning. I thought
Yeah.
that was genius.
Yeah, isn't that
She'd
amazing?
make us nervous with those catwalks over the top.
Made you
of
nervous.
them.
Oh, my God.
So was the rest of those. You'd be prancing
When
in
she
those
climbed
heels,
over
put
through
her
her
legs
leg over the
Yeah,
trail.
well, she would do that and then the
Oh, yeah.
Port Fair tour and the What's Love tour. She'd climb up that. I mean, I
Well,
can
she
imagine.
started
like-
doing that, she always did it, but it was
Yeah.
scary. And
Yeah.
then one of the times.
Was it a plan or was it one night she just did it and y'all were all like,
Just
what
her.
in the hell is she doing?
Just her.
Yeah.
And then one night, it didn't retract. And she had to walk back on the catwalk all the way back, and then it started all of a sudden when she got almost to the
Wait,
stage.
on the For the Fair tour
She'd be
or?
prancing on that.
No, it wasn't on the phone.
Is it-
I'm
is
just
that-
saying, on one of the tours, it just didn't go back. You know, it's got the ramp that goes all the way
Yeah.
down.
Oh, okay, okay, I know what you mean,
And
okay,
then
yeah.
it started, it's supposed to go back to the stage, and yes.
Oh, gosh.
The, On the Road 71, I think 71 DVD, the last one that came out, was fascinating to look at because it had so much footage that super fans like us just were.
The one that Bob Gruen did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. How do you feel when you go back and see yourself on there?
Embarrassed. No, Bob was on the road as a photographer with us.
Yeah.
For a while, I don't remember how long. But he's had some photographs and I think that footage too in some museums and stuff. The Lydia showing in LA. And there was one in New York recently.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a point in time, you know, you look at your
Yeah.
book and think, oh my God, what was I thinking when I wore that? What happened with the hair, you know? But it was fun.
Yeah.
All part of getting ready.
Quick question.
Yes.
Okay. Like 74, 5, 6, Tina wore a lot of dresses and they would be shredded. Who designed those dresses?
Kaisik Wong, Kaisik Wong did the first shredded dresses. There was one that was black and then multicolored.
Yeah, and you always wanted to have the hearts in different places.
That was Kaisik Wong.
Isaac Wong.
Yeah, and then the torn beaded ones was from Bob Mackey when we did the Cher Show. Yeah, it was kind of the basis then for a lot, and Mackey did the wings and.
He's fabulous.
And that was before she left Ike. These were Bob
Kaisik
Mackey.
Wong, yes.
Okay, and Bob Mackey was
After
after.
the Cher Show. And then the Christian Holder, his brother Geoffrey Holder, the ballet dancer, his uncle. Christian also designed some dresses.
What,
Now,
what
would you
happens to those? Now, no,
Would you
they're
have
old
one?
now, but, you know, but. what-
Costumes?
Yeah, like back then, cause she would always have different colors, like she had purple, black, and all these different shredded dresses, but you can only really wear those on stage, so like what
Right.
happens? Or what happened?
Sometimes they're donated to charity things, or they wear out.
Okay.
Depends on how long the tour is.
Okay.
Would you guys like to see a video that Furley did for you?
Yes.